Day 66 of 75 hard. Just starting the day with my first workout, rocking and rolling, a good walk outside. I have a ton of client calls today, and so we both needed a day of rest from the gym. We both were like, we are so sore. So my two workouts today are going to be obviously the outside one here, walking Brewers Beach, but then we'll be stretching or some like light yoga and Pilates on the boat tonight. So that will be a-okay. We both honestly are so sore this week. So always honor if you're just like, I know I need to get activity and mobility. You always do feel better after. We just literally have not skipped a gym day or built in another rest day for probably 4 weeks. We've literally been at the gym 6 days a week lifting because Sundays are closed. And so we both were like, our bodies need a little bit of a break that way. So we're honoring that. So Day 66, again, super excited to just give you a little bit of some strategic planning tidbits as you are watching this journey. Again, I'm 9 days out of wrapping up the third round of doing 75 hard. Super excited to just be able to just document this, show that it is sustainable, it is feasible, it is realistic to do even when you are living full-time on a boat in St. Thomas. So when it comes to strategic planning, it comes to, how that relates to this challenge, how this relates to you, I really want to lean into two things. First one is making sure that like yesterday we talked about capacity and talking about the vision and knowing the cadence of what you have all on your plate, which is very, very important. It's more that commitment to, again, the long term is what I want to talk about. So, we constantly are in this flux of you don't necessarily want to do the hard things day to day, day to day, day to day, but you want the easy life in the long run. Well, I'm here to tell you and kind of burst your bubble that it is these day-to-day, day-to-day, day-to-day commitments in your business, in your health and wellness journey, in your nutrition, in the way you take care of your relationships, the way that you take care of yourself is actually what that looks like in the long term to make it easy, right? And I just think people want, in a kind of, unrealistic way, to not do the hard things for a long period of time. Well, that creates a great momentum for you to have flexibility, a great momentum for you to be able to, have some options that you want to, choose to do or choose not to do. But I'm just going to say tried and true over and over and over, no matter where I've been living, no matter what journey I've been on. It really is about making sure you're consistent in these little tasks. These little tasks do add up to the big picture of what I would call freedom. And that could be financial freedom, that could be time freedom. But when you're doing anything at a strategic level, you've got to look 5 years out, guys. You've got to look 10 years out. You can't look in the next 7 weeks. You're not going to see that many changes in 7 weeks. You're not going to see your business grow in 10 weeks, right? Those are the one-offs. To do this long term, you've got to stay true to what your day-to-day cadence will be and multiplies out over several years. So I always love the activity where you say, in 3 years from now, right, it will be 2028. Let's just say it's 2025 right now. It'll be 2028. Where do you want to end up at? What does your lifestyle look like? How much freedom do you have? What are you doing for your vocation? Like taking the time to scope that out, and then you're able to say yes and no to things over these next 3 years that, to your point, you can't anticipate, but at least you know where you're heading, right? And at least you know day to day what you're chipping away at. And I just think so many people miss that step. And over time, over years, not just a quarter, not just 3 weeks, not just a week, right? I wish that there was a way to show people the things you do right now, if you had an immediate, immediate consequence if you would do it or not, right? You would learn so much about what you would include and what you wouldn't include, but that's not how it works. It evolves, it derails, it grows way over time, that you never know that you're kind of going off by a degree, or you're coming closer and closer and closer in that trajectory by a degree. But because it takes so much time for anything to grow, like, you can't speed up compound time. You can't. You can do more exposure, you can do more activity, you can be more intentional, but there is a factor in the formula that over time is when you're gonna see the results. Over time is when you're gonna see the freedom. And that is a direct part of strategic planning, is that you know how to utilize the resources, the big picture, but ultimately you still have to be making decisions that will serve you well in the long run, not in the short term, in the long run. So I hope that that's helpful to think more long term. Think, if no one's asked you, hey, so where are you going to end up at in 2028? Maybe I'm the first person that's asking you that. Where do you want to end up at in the next 3 years, in terms of where you're living, in terms of how you're serving people, how you're making money, what you're doing in terms of vacations, what you're doing in terms of being of service to your faith community? Like, all of those questions we start asking now. We start making choices now, and then they compound. So that's the first part of strategic planning I want to just dive into, as again, you're watching this series to learn behind the scenes how I've grown and scaled my businesses to be able to be fully remote, still be able to work out several hours a day. You don't have to do that, that's my choice. Several hours a day, have a great thriving relationship with Corey, where we have at least a couple hours every day just being with each other and being present, and then still availability to do other activities as we choose and be there for our family. So just really want to lean in that did not happen overnight. That has been an evolution of my mindset, an evolution of my activity, the evolution of capacity of what I can hold for myself and for others. And so just know that there's always an evolution in strategic planning. It is not you set the plan and then you just work it for 3 years, never look back. No, of course it's going to be evolving, but if you don't have any framework, it's hard to get freedom. So write that down. If you watch anything else in this video or this series, if you don't have any framework or roadmap, it is really difficult to know how you get any freedom. Okay, you're usually going to be really stressed out, really confused, not knowing what to say yes to. You have no way to make decisions based off of what model, right? So you've got to figure out what that is for you. Everyone has a different flow for that and a different way of that. But the most important part of this second takeaway for today is you figuring that out. So take some time this afternoon, take some time this weekend, really start thinking about, where are you heading in 2028? How do you want your business to look? Who do you want to be surrounding yourself with? How much free time do you want? How much time do you want in the community? All those things need to be clarified. And then it's amazing. Your brain starts to work on solving that for you, starts to figure out that I need to say yes to these things or no to these things in the immediate. Okay, so stop making decisions in the immediate, stop making reactionary decisions, start thinking more long term, and I promise you that will help navigate what decisions you say yes to and what decisions you start saying no to. So I will see you all tomorrow. I'm so excited that we're on day 66. We're below that 10 day marker, which is a huge milestone, and can't wait to keep pouring into you about strategic thinking, strategic, just ways of living. Also how you can pay that forward in your business. All right, y'all, there's one more shot of the beach. I'm gonna go finish up this walk and then go shower and get ready for all my clients today. Talk to you later. Bye.